What's going on, guys? It's your boy Kee Star, back at it again with another action figure unboxing review. Today we've got something really awesome and quite interesting and very old, to be honest. Today we've got the Figma Sword Art Online Kirito action figure, the original release. So this is a crazy grab. Basically, when I was a kid, well, not really a kid, but when I first started getting back into anime, I really enjoyed Sword Art Online. It's not so good now, it has a bit of hate here and there, but I still enjoyed it at the time. It's nice, and I really enjoyed the romance aspect with Kirito and Asuna, and I kind of fell in love with the anime when I went through like a breakup or something. I was sad anyway at the time, and I ended up loving the anime regardless. And I just thought that I'd really like to have his figure, and that boy Kingu hit me up with a way that I could get these two Figmas. They're from 2015, and I got them both for 62 bucks, which is absolutely insane. So a big thank you to that boy Kingu for hitting me up with that way. You're amazing. And we'll stop babbling right now. We'll get straight into it. So can you like, subscribe, all that boring shebang that you do not want to hear from every tuber. And we'll get straight in. We've got our random item of the day. All I've literally got to hand is a kitchen knife, which we're going to use to open the figure carefully. And another thing, this thing is sealed, man. So I've got two brand new Figmas for 62 bucks each that are like, what, 8 years old? I think that's absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, we'll get into it. I'll stop babbling and fanboying. So, as you can see, we've got the front of the box there. You've got Kirito looking awesome in his basic gear, the window display. Figma, the seal of approval there, Max Factory. Absolutely awesome. Number 174. So it's quite an old one. Max Factory in the corner, as you can see there. The side, some art of Kirito, yada yada. The product number there. The back, some poses your boy can do. The faces, the Japanese shebang, the stickers, the terms and conditions, all that yada. The bottom, nothing really, just more Figma DX. The other side, a really wholesome art of Kirito there, looking absolutely dope indeed. The top, the same as the bottom. And with that, we'll get him open, guys, straight away. In 3, 2, 1. Just to jazz things up a bit, we're going to do something completely different. We're going to do accessories first. So, with our boy Kirito, you can see him looking absolutely incredible there. We've come to the top can. You actually get 3 interchangeable faces. You get a nice smiley face. You get a sad, kind of concerned face, which looks quite interesting. And you get his angry yelling face, absolutely awesome. You get his 2 iconic blades from the show, which I can't recall because it's been so long since I watched it properly. Absolutely awesome. And you get his original sword from the anime, which is absolutely incredible. You also get a Figma display stand and a boatload of hands and all that jazz that we always get with these guys. You get a Figma baggy pouch to keep all your stuff in. And then you get 2 energy effects, which is absolutely awesome Figma. They included energy effects to equip on the swords, which are absolutely awesome. And then you get some sheaths for the back of his, for his swords anyway. So that is all the accessories with your boy. I will change out the faces at the end of the video, so at least you can see. But at least that is done and dusted. So again, I'll be back with you in a minute, guys. So here's our boy out the box, and he's looking pretty dope. As you can see, he looks just like he does in the anime, with his awesome kind of black swordsman leather jacket painted really nicely. Bearing in mind, this figure is really, really old, so it is so stiff and it feels so delicate, but I'm really enjoying it, to be honest. It's nice to finally have this one in my collection. A few years ago, I got sold a bootleg, so it's nice to have the official in hand from Figma, and I really do love it. So we're just going to do brief paint and detail. There's not much to talk about, and we're going to go straight in there. So, as you can see, he's got his awesomely painted anime black hair. Absolutely lovely in every single way. As you can see there, his black cloak with silvers and whites throughout. His arm metal band there with the bolts painted nicely. His gloves and his skin tone painted awesomely. The shading on his eyes. He's one of the only characters to have like black eyes, which are really awesome. And his mouth even painted with a little slit, as it is anime accurate. Very nice indeed. His belt, again, you can see the belt on his trousers. Absolutely awesome. These really delicately pieces here. You have to be really careful with these. I'm so scared to move this guy. So articulation is going to be so brief as well, guys, but I'm really not mad about it. Just a basic black colour scheme, and this figure is quite rare to come by these days. And then probably the best painted part of the figure is these boots, his black swordsman boots. You can really tell the armour plating in the silvers and the greys. Absolutely lovely, man. Really, really good. Really good. I really like it. Very, very nice grab. And shout out to that boy Kingu for telling me about this one. I've just got to make sure I'll be so careful and don't break it and ruin it for myself, because I really will be crying if this thing does break. So with that, guys, we'll get into really, really brief articulation, and it will be really brief, dudes, unfortunately. So I'm just going to go straight in. He does have a single ball peg at his head, as all Figmas do. He can turn left, right, all the way around, but I'm not going to do it because it is so stiff and it's fresh out the box. Thing is from 2015 and it's not been opened once. So I'm going to keep it that way. Looks down, looks up pretty far, and left, right, all the way around if you really want to, but Kee Star doesn't. It's got single ball joints at the arms. They do float and move around. You can get up to just below 90, but I'm not going to do it. You do get a swivel at the ball joint, but no bicep swivel hinge. You get an elbow joint that is a single ball peg there. That also does swivel slightly, but again, look at the stiffness of this figure, man. I'm not going to do it. You do get a wrist hinge backwards and forwards, and that can twist as well when you're removing hands and such, and that is the same for both arms. So basic stuff at the arms. I don't think he has a diaphragm, unfortunately, guys. I can't tell, and I'm too scared to try it out. But he does have like a floating crotch area, so he doesn't have diaphragm, but he does have a waist swivel all the way around, left and right, and backwards and forwards slightly, if that's what you like. He has single ball joints at the legs, as you can see. They're on like that cup, 2 sticky out ball pegs, and you clip the leg on. Old-fashioned Figma stuff from 2015, so basic stuff there. A single knee joint, because these are old figures. Again, slight swivel, and single ankle joint there, as you can see. Backwards and forwards at the foot. Nice pivot there, but be very careful, because if you do have this one, this is in the way, and you don't want to damage anything. You really don't, because you ain't going to get another one for such a reasonable price, to be honest. And already I can feel him getting looser, and I really don't want that to happen. So I've got to try and find a way I can pose this guy without messing him up. But it's Kirito. He's the Black Swordsman from Sword Art Online Season 1. He gets the dual wielding ability because of his power, and that's all we need to know about him, really. He's the strong guy. No toe hinge, sorry to mention. No toe hinge because it's dated. Very dated stuff. But still awesome. Very, very happy to have him in the collection, to be honest. So that's one more 360 of him. Very, very interesting. But other than that, if you're not a fan of the show and you don't like it that much, he's literally just an anime swordsman from a video game. So you're not going to pick him up. But nonetheless, I think he's really nice, man. Very, very nice indeed, I have to admit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave your boy there, as you can see. And I'm going to try and get a closer look at that snout. Now, I'm going to try and get a closer look at these accessories. So, the other faces our boy comes with, as you know, we're going to try and get them on. So there's one face. There's Kirito in his sad, concerned, depression face. And it is a bit wonky. I must admit, this figure is dated. But to be honest, I really like that. It's like from the episode when he loses the girl that he's travelling with, the first ever companion he has. And it looks a bit janky. It's like slanted. They could have done a better job, but obviously it was a really early figure. But it kind of looks like me when I'm fed up and I'm having one of my depression phases in real life. But I know I actually like that. I think that's really funny. So yeah, very good. Next one. And then you have his generic anime screaming face, which it looks. Oh no, they have done his teeth, but they haven't painted the teeth white. So it does look nice, and it's good for like an action pose, but it does look a bit like, I can't explain, but I like it anyway. It's got quite a funny charm to it. But if you wanted him in the action, angry, kind of really childish, screaming look, then there you go. But he's all right, man. He's quite funny, man. I'm just happy to have him, to be honest. It's a long time having been sent the fake and then finally having the real one in hand. It is quite a nice, refreshing thing to have. So yeah, I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and equip at least one of his swords on him carefully, and then we'll wrap up. Really, I'm not actually going to get these out, the energy effects, because I don't want to break the swords. And knowing me and my luck with figures, I will snap the sword in half and then I will be crying. So I'm not going to be able to get another one of these. But I'm going to have a fiddle around with him and see what pose I can get him into, just for the end of the video. So if you bear with me 1 minute, guys. So there you are, guys. Here he is in like a little pose, equipped with his 2 iconic blades. And I have to say, he looks really good. The figure isn't perfect, it is very janky, but for 62 bucks, I can't lie, that's cheaper than most of the stuff I've bought in my collection. I suppose you can move his feet to be in a certain way where he will stand by himself, but it will take a bit of effort. But in terms of look, he looks awesome, man. I mean, Figma, I don't know what it is. Since I got the Tanjiro, I've just fell in love with Figma a little bit, to be honest. And I just want to show you, you can either have his one sword equipped just nicely, like in the original series, as the box shows, or you can have his dual-wielded blades equipped. So it's whatever you feels better for your display. I personally have equipped the 2. It is a bit of a janky system. You get a really narrow peg that you plug into his back. I didn't use hot water. I was just pushing and twisting all over his paint, so I probably have damaged his paint a little bit with my fingers. So always use warm water to assist you in your accolades. But I just wanted to show you how the attention to detail with these swords. So the swords are sheathed, but I'm just going to lie our boy down for 2 minutes. But just look at the attention to detail on these weapons, man. Absolutely awesome. The only downside is when you equip this sheath thing, the sheaths do get scratched. And you can't help that, it's just the way it's engineered. And also, you've got to carefully put these blades in the sheath. And by right, if you keep taking them out, they're going to get scratched, unfortunately. But I suppose you could have that as fighting battle damage or wear and tear. But he still looks awesome. And we'll just get the other sword out. Again, an absolutely beautiful piece to go with the figure. Alright, the attention to detail that they've done with these figures. The little emblem at the end, it just looks beautiful. This is like the dragon crystal sword that he gets when he finds the ore. Absolutely awesome, man. So yeah, it is a shame about the fact that they do get scratched. And the only defect I can see on my entire figure, which really made me sad, is if you look, the handle is a bit bent, and that is the only defect. And my OCD for action figures really picks up on that, which is a shame. So I'm not going to equip this in his hand, because if that snaps, I will be crying. I have got the fake sword, but obviously it's nowhere near the quality of that. So if this broke, I could replace it with a fake one, but I don't want to. The entire figure, and only this, is the defect. It is a shocking one. It is a harsh one, but at the end of the day, I'll have to suck that up, because it could be a lot worse. I could have received a lot more defects than just that. So to be honest, all in all, it's really nice. I'd say this one you'd buy just if you're a fan of the series. If you don't like Sword Art Online Season 1, you're not going to get this, because the engineering is really terrible, to be honest. Terrible. Like, it's not so bad, but it's that outdated that if you're a fan of movable action figures, you're going to break this. So you're not going to want this if you're like the articulation master who enjoys posing his figures in ridiculous poses just to break them. You're not going to buy this one, and you're not going to buy it if you don't like Sword Art Online. But if you want a Kirito that is just absolutely awesome, anime accurate to Season 1, there are different variants. A lot of people like the Season 2 because you can combine the swords, but for me, Sword Art Online Season 1 and the War Arc with the infantry knights, whatever they're called, were the best two. I think it was season 1 and 4. I'm not quite sure. I haven't seen it for so long. But I just like that iconic black swordsman look that you can get with this figure. It's very nice. And guys, I've just absolutely dropped him off the thing, and I can't believe I've just done that. I can't believe you've done this. Like, seriously, I hate myself right now. I was just trying to show him up close, and I ended up dropping him on the floor, and I've probably damaged him. I can't see any damage as of yet, but I'm scared to look. I really am scared to look, because if I broke this, I'm going to be so sad, and I will be crying, man. I literally just dropped him out my hand, and he just fell on the floor, and I wanted to scream, but obviously, why, man? I don't know why my hands are so janky and shaky. I'm so annoyed at myself. I'm really worried to look across the figure. Luckily, some of it is kind of malleable, but I finally got the figure I've been after for a long time, and then I just go and drop him. I think it's on his arm, to be honest. I might have damaged his arm a little bit. Or maybe that little chip on his feet, but on his boots. But I don't know. I can't tell now. But at least none of the swords are broken, because everything was equipped when I dropped that. So that could have been a hell of a lot worse. But Jesus, I'm so annoyed at myself, man. Such an idiot. Really, really annoyed. So there you go, guys. Always use Kee Star caution, even though I've been not so cautious today, and I've almost mashed him up on camera. It was bound to happen. Out of like over 100 videos, I was bound to like mash up one figure. But there you go. Anyway, back to the summary. He's a very nice figure. If you like the series, and you can come across him for like 50 to 60 UK pound, pick him up, because on eBay he's going for 100 plus, sometimes 120, depending on where you look, because some sellers are absolutely crazy. But I do really like him. So we'll have one last 360 of our boy. And yeah, his nice swords, bent up swords, which is probably worse now because I've just dropped him like an absolute idiot. So there's your boy anyway. All together, all in, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10, I think. Purely for the fact that you can't really articulate him that well without being worried to break him, even though that doesn't matter when you're a foolish person like me. But in terms of look, I'd say he's close to a 10 out of 10. He looks just like he does in the anime, and Figma have pulled that off really well. I think they did the best with what they could to add all the single sword or the double sword, whichever you prefer. You can have both in. You can switch out the hands and the faces. The faces ain't the best, I must admit. They could be better. But for a 2015 figure that I've been sought after for a long time, we can't go wrong. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. It wasn't really a review as such. It was more of a showcase, this one, because I didn't do much with him. I'm really sorry about that. I'm sorry for dropping him like a fool. You may be laughing at me or not, but I'm literally screaming inside. That's why I've got to wrap this one up, because my anxiety is pounding right now, and I can't believe I've just done that. So anyway, thank you very much for your time, guys. Oh, and one last thing, I want to say a big thank you. We finally hit 200 subscribers. So a big thank you to anybody who subs, comes back to the videos, watches, or just you random viewers who leave a like and watch the content occasionally. You guys are absolutely incredible, and you keep me doing these things, even when I'm doing stupid stuff like dropping my brand new figures on the floor face first. Luckily, we have carpet, so the damage was left to a minimum, but that is absolutely awesome. I have 2 things to give away for when we hit 250 subscribers. I've got a Bam Presto Rengoku statue, the one with the bent sword that I hated so much because of that slightly bent sword, but I'm going to give that away. And I've also got an unopened Mitsuri Love Hashira Bam Presto as well, ready for when we do hit 250 subs. So hopefully you can keep putting our stuff out there, and we will hit that landmark soon, and then we can even increase to 500 hopefully, but that's wishful thinking. But either way, I appreciate you all, and thank you for all the support and sticking through me through these boring reviews. Even if they do relax you and make you feel a bit better, that makes me happy. So that's all I've got to say really, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks for your time. Drink all your water. Keep collecting cool things. Stay safe in these crazy times at the minute. and just keep yourself occupied as always. And Kirito from Sword Art Online Season 1, who's just been dropped on his face, says stay safe and keep collecting.